figured, give it a look. So the 2.4 preview special broadcast is on May 30th, which is Friday, 7 p.m. And then we have, that's dropping in 4 days. Well, it says there 4 days. 4 days, 23 hours, kind of. And we have a special record, the City of Glory. In other words, Septimont. Shown here. All right, let's take a look. That is the Septimont logo or symbol. Underwater. Ooh, that's a. I didn't notice that when I first watched. And this is cool. Like, I'm wondering if this is like to scale, but that's like, I guess, our preview of Septimont. If that is to scale, wow, it's gonna be a big area. And a sword. And then the visuals here. When I first saw this, the first thought that came to mind, I thought it was Unlimited Blade Works, but when I'm thinking about it, it's not Unlimited. It's not a reference to Unlimited Blade Works. It is a reference to the Battle of Kamlan. So it's more a reference to Artoria, I would say. Then we have the arena. Now this is, like, I am curious as what the black liquid represents. I'm assuming it's the lament. A huge tidal wave that engulfs the entire structure. And then these 5 objects to symbolize the new characters that are going to be coming up. So, of course, the Spider Lily for Pelova, coins, there was a Broadblade, and then the crown symbolizing Cardathia and Fleur-de-Lis. So very excited for that. Especially considering they also did that when they initially unveiled Renacida. They also did the character teasers with objects. So the reason why I said that this is like this unveil here with the sword. When you at first glance, this does look like Unlimited Blade Works. But again, I remember this scene from Shakona's trailer, and that's Cardathia, and of course Cardathia, with the way Fleur-de-Lis's animation is, it's pretty much kind of like Excalibur. So I was thinking that this is a reference to the Battle of Kamlan. And I have an image of that here. There are multiple references of it, but probably the more I guess more recent one would be the reference in Fate Grand Order. So that is Artoria on on top of a hill with all of the corpses with swords. And we have a bunch of Tatsu Discords corpses with swords plunged into them. So at first I thought it was a reference to Unlimited Blade Works, but I feel like it's more of a reference to this, which is a reference to this, which I think is kind of cool because it also kind of plays into the whole unveiling that Fleur de Lis's ultimate is kind of like Excalibur. So, but anyways, back to the trailer. So we have the 5 objects. So this is the crown. So of course that is Cartathea. Then we see it get shattered. And then reformed to symbolize how Cartathea transforms into Fleur de Lis. Then we have a bunch of coins which symbolize glory. I'm thinking that this might be Lupa because the coins have symbolisms of wolves. So here's a wolf from the front view, a wolf from the side view. So I'm assuming that this symbolizes Lupa. And of course we have the spider lily titled Beyond. So that's highly likely to be Prolova. Then we have this called the Sun, which looks like to be a huge broadsword. But the thing is, what also makes me think that the broadsword is more of a reference to Unlimited Blade Works than this scene. The reason why is because we see the broadsword when they unveil it, and it crumbles. It's a broadsword, but it's made of a whole bunch of swords. Which is interesting. And then we have the moon. Well, we can't really see the moon, but first it was shortly glimpsed here in the trailer. But it's like the lament or the taint, whatever that is. You see the moon is all lit, but the liquid that's, I guess, to symbolize the lament, maybe, or yeah, is causing it to black out and then eventually fade away. So I'm curious as who that symbolizes, but this has me really excited because this week we're probably going to be getting a lot of drip marketing. Then we'll be introduced to the characters little by little, which will then eventually all be unveiled once we get to the 2.4 live broadcast on Friday. So I'm very excited for this week. Hoping for I'm going to be keeping my eyes glued on the socials for sure to see if for stuff that they may drop. And I mean, who knows, they may do it like one character at a time, or they may do it like this where they have all 5 objects in one day. Maybe they'll do the same thing, or maybe, who knows, they'll tease certain aspects one character at a time as we lead up to Friday. So very excited for this week. Very, very, very excited. Now, I don't know if I'm going to make this into YouTube. Honestly, I was thinking about it. That's why I have all of this stuff prepared. But who knows? If it comes out nice, I guess I will. If I don't, honestly, I don't really have a lot of time to edit stuff anymore. So if it works. If not, Thanks for getting to this point of the VOD, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, YouTube.